Gold is no longer a boring asset as it inches closer to the 1,400 mark here. Joining me today is Phil Streible, Senior Market Strategist over at RJO Futures. Phil, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. A great day.
Great day indeed. Gold having a monster rally here. Let's talk about the upward momentum we're seeing here on the gold front.
Well, I mean, we should continue to see that breakthrough 1,400, and I'd anticipate that a lot of the short sellers will end up giving up at that level. So no telling how high we can go from here. It's kind of got this perfect storm going on with increasing geopolitical risks and then also a dovish Fed.
You know, earlier this week, I had reported on another billionaire jumping on the gold bandwagon, Paul Tudor Jones, saying that if gold breaks above 1,400, it could push to 1,700 and rather quickly. Could that be a possibility here for you?
It is entirely possible. I mean, look, the Fed, it's factored in at 100% rate probability that they will cut at that next meeting. Now, if you look at the last time we had this aggressive hike cycle followed by rate cuts, they had higher levels to go down from. So with the Fed only being at 2.25 right now, if they cut a half, that doesn't give them much firepower in order to stabilize that economy. So we might see another round of quantitative easing and a whole number of other things. So that really could push gold quite higher.
So is that really it for you, Phil? Is it, the follow through from yesterday's remarks from Powell and the fact we're heading into the July Fed meeting, which, as you say, is pricing at 100% probability of a rate cut? So is that really what's fueling gold?
Well, it's definitely helping it. I mean, if you look, it gives you a warning sign. I mean, we saw the 10-year yield dip below 2%. That's the first time since 2016. We've got an inverted yield curve right now. These are all warning signs that are flashing out there. We've got increased geopolitical risks, especially with this news out of Iran. So I think that, being involved with some safe haven assets like gold and silver, and then, even looking at other, undervalued commodities like crude oil having another massive move today on this. These are the types of asset classes that you want to get into with this uncertainty going forward.
But what's interesting, Phil, this week, though, on that note, is gold's up, but Bitcoin's up, and so are equities. So is it a really flight to safety play?
It's tough to say where the asset class is, where everyone shifts into. Remember, like the emerging markets, those are the first guys to always liquidate their currencies, and they generally jump into either the dollar, which is a safe haven play. However, the dollar, because of the interest rate cut we're expected to have, is not the place to be. So you're going to see gold in dollar terms take off to the upside, where previous years you've had to trade gold in other terms, like against the euro currency and things like that. So I think that some people are still looking at equities as being slightly undervalued, but I got to be cautious with equities back at the all-time highs. I think you got to go into some safety, get out of the equities and back into gold or silver.
All right, Phil Streible, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, and thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow.